Got one, guys. On a pause. Heck yeah, on the little jerkbait. That bite was hard to get. It's a nice one too. Heck yeah. Oh, that might be the one that I lost on the line through this morning. Got one. Got one, guys. Something. Tasty little bluegill. Got that Rebel Raider. It's the first few days in a long time that it's been warm outside, guys. Doing a little pond fishing after work. Kind of encouraging, guys, because the last 2 times that I've been here, I haven't caught anything. So there's a very small sign of life there in that bluegill. In the wintertime, when the water is very cold as it'll get all year, let's say 1/8 ounce double treble hook lipless jerkbait. You can get them at Walmart. Very subtle. There's a very faint rattle to it, but it works really well in the really cold ponds, guys, especially if it's a little bit clearer. I'm using a 7.4 Dobbin Sierra in my Sioux Dark Wolf with 6-pound fluoro to wing it out there a long ways. There he was. Got him that time. This little bass just missed at the cast before that. Got him that time though. I was seeing fish swirl off through this end here on the calm side where the sun's been, and I wasn't getting bites, but he hit it the first time and he wanted it the second. Y'all, there's our second really small victim on that Rebel Raider. It is a sinking bait too, guys. It sinks very slow. What I did to get that one to bite is I started working it a little faster with more aggressive twitches, almost like subsurface, in that shallow end of this pond, and that little guy thrashed it. Maybe we'll get one that's decent size today, who knows. There are a couple of fish in here that are like 2.5 to 3 pounds, so hopefully we can get one. Got one. Got one, guys. Another little bluegill. He popped it. Fun bait to throw. Got him. Those bluegill are crushing it. Had another one hit it twice before on the cast before, and not sure if the bass are active yet or not, but anything is welcome today. Nice looking little bluegill there, that yellow belly. He's a lot healthier than the first one we caught, that's for sure. Got one. That's the biggest one yet. He got orange on him. Didn't know what I was gonna catch today, guys, because this pond has a little bit of everything, a bunch of panfish and small bass. I'm all right with bluegill. Guys, and I'm actually being able to work that bait really aggressive to draw those bites. It's not near as just like dead, like slow fall that I thought that was gonna draw the bites. I'm actually casting it out, letting it sink for a few seconds, and then I'm aggressively with my rod tip. You can probably see it. I mean, I'm pop, 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 as I'm slow reeling it, and those bluegill are blasting it. Still just that one little dink bass, but probably going to be doing some river fishing later this week as well as some lake fishing. So hopefully there'll be some good catches for y'all to watch from those trips too. Got one. Got another one, guys. What was that? It was another bluegill. I think the best way that I can describe this action is it's like fishing a weightless fluke with a little more weight to it when it falls. It's got a very subtle side-to-side quiver as it falls, which is just lethal, it seems like. But when it's coming through the water, it's going left, right, up, down, any way you twist the rod. It's a very responsive bait. I love it. I probably should be using it more on tough days when I feel like the fish are suspended around cover. Maybe you'll be seeing it more. Who knows? Got one, guys. Got one. What's that? That might actually be like a hybrid of some kind between a sunfish and a bluegill. Still looks like a bluegill though. It's just a bluegill. Not what I expected catch today, but I'll take them. Not bad looking fish. And it's still hard to get them to bite too. I'm having to twitch the crap out of that bait to make them commit. And even then, they're still just kind of thrashing at it. Guys, I think I've slept on that bait. It's one that I've had for a really long time. Used to catch a ton of fish on it and just kind of forgot about, but this thing could be versatile year round. You can work it really fast subsurface, you can fish it deep, you can fish it aggressive, you can fish it slow. Very versatile, my kind of bait. We'll see if I can find a few more ways to apply it here in the upcoming future. Got one. Got one, guys. On a pause. Heck yeah, on the little jerkbait. Let's go. That's the first pond bass I've caught all year. Actually, you know, I caught a really small one at that other pond, but just caught that little pond bass on that Rebel Raider. It's a really good cold water lipless jerkbait, or they even call it like a walking crankbait. It's subsurface. And I was twitching it really hard. I let it pause for just a second and it started to sink down and he popped it. That was cool. Wasn't expecting to catch anything today, honestly. The water's still really cold, so got him on my Sioux Hurricane with 6-pound fluoro and my Sioux Dragon moderate action BFS casting rod. Got one. Guys, I got a good one. Please stay on. What is that? Dang it, dude, I saw him. Oh man, that was like a 3.5 pounder right there. All right, what do we got? What do we got? Dude, I've had 2 good bites. Is my hook dull? No. They must just barely be getting it because I've had 2 come off like kind of like right as they get up close to the boat. I'm gonna get them though. That was a good fish, dang it. Oh man. Got one. That bite was hard to get. It's a nice one too, heck yeah. Oh my gosh, if I can land this one. What a morning it's been, guys. Oh, this will help me out so much. Yeah, that's a stud. Heck yeah. Oh, I should have 3 other fish just like him already. And I just haven't been able to keep the hooks in them. 2 of them got off before they got to the boat. And I had another one on the Texas rig that I had my drag too tight. And when I set the hook, it bent the light wire EWG out and lost him. But thank you, thank you, thank you. Whew, got the skunk out. This nice one came right after a culvert drop off, and I'm just working it as slow as possible, even though it's like 65, 70 degrees out for the first time in a long time. The water temps are still in the 40s and they're still super lethargic. I'm throwing a Ned size Rage Craw. So it's like 2 3/4 inches long on a #1 EWG on straight 10-pound braid with a 1/8 ounce tungsten. That is a solid river fish there, boys. Got it on a Cast King Kestrel light action casting rod and a Sioux Dark Wolf. Got him. Got one, guys. Stay on. Oh, that might be the one that I lost on the line through this morning. That is another good one. Guys, got a little redemption. That might be the one I lost this morning. That's right where I got that bite. So I wanted to fish it again. And I learned my lesson from the first fish that I lost on the Texas rig. I had a #1 light wire EWG, and when I'm throwing that 10-pound braid, it bent it out on the hook set. So I'm throwing a heavier gauge #2, so it's a little bit smaller, but it's way more stout. And this thing got popped on the hook set. He was going nowhere. That's a 2.75 inch Strike King Rage Ned Craw, and I've got it in like a rusty color with the claws red on it. 1/8 ounce tungsten on my Cast King Kestrel still with that Sioux Dark Wolf. Fishing in the wintertime is truly when the details matter the most. The small little details. I guarantee you I would have caught those first 2 fish that I had on with a little line through treble head if I would have been throwing it on the rod that I normally throw it on, which is a faster action rod. Doesn't really make much sense, right? Because normally with a treble bait you want it on like a real soft, moderate action rod. But with that initial hook set, there wasn't really much behind it. And with as light as those fish bit, I needed to pin that treble hook into the outside of their lips a little better, and that soft dragon rod wasn't able to do it, unfortunately. It could have been that, or the fact that they just didn't get it that good. I don't know, guys. But the second fish that I had on, that was a really good fish. That broke my heart big time when it got off, because I got to see it. Another fine detail, third bite that I had, Texas rig. I was just getting tired and wearing at it, flipping away. I finally get a bite. I go to set the hook, and the hook bends out because the braid's real stout, doesn't give, and I lose the fish. My mistake again, because I was using a #1 light wire EWG hook when I should have been using one of my little stout EWGs. I was really fortunate that I caught the biggest fish of the trip on that light wire hook, because it did bend it a little bit, and when I went to take the hook out of the fish's mouth, it just like fell out. So after that happened again, I quit being lazy. I tied on the more stout #2 hook, and when I got that second bite, I whacked him, and it felt so good, because I think it could have even been one of the same fish that I lost in the morning on the treble head on the little craw. So that was a little bit of vindication. But after that, guys, complete ass whooping. I tried another stretch of river, fished for 2 hours-ish, 2.5 hours, and didn't get a bite. I knew that's how it was gonna be, guys. I knew what my expectations should be. I knew I was gonna get like a handful of bites, and in the wintertime you have to be ready for those bites. Everything's got to be dialed in, everything's got to be ready, because you don't really normally get second chances, and you don't get a ton of bites in the wintertime. It just doesn't happen. And I guess I should caveat that with saying, if you're fishing blind like how I fish, like not using your electronics, it is really hard to get a lot of bites in the wintertime. It just doesn't happen. If you're using live imaging or forward-facing sonar, you probably have the chance to wreck quite a few. But like I said, if you're fishing blind like me, January and February are your worst enemies. Hopefully this is just gonna make March that much sweeter when it finally rolls around and the highs at night like consistently get into the 50s and that water temp gets back up into the 50s, because that's when the switch really flipped, guys. As soon as the water temps consistently got down into the 40s, they have just been non-existent. So hopefully there's some much better trips ahead of me, and I'm really looking forward to the spring, and I'm sure most of you guys are as well, especially if you're up north. You're probably still jealous that I'm down here fishing open water, who knows. If y'all enjoyed this one, leave a like for me. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet. Talk with me down in the comments below. Check out the playlist that I leave in the pinned comments. Share this with a finesse loving friend. I do link the gear in the description. Check out that little Rebel Raider that I caught all those bluegill on. That's a really fun skinny water and small water bait. If you haven't checked that out yet, I'll leave that link in the description. And y'all take her easy. We'll catch you on the next one.